Trevor and I both, we did this last year. We're going to do it every year now. Both have dropped our preseason top 20s. Trevor's actually, at the recording, hasn't been posted yet, so I haven't even seen Trevor's.
Yeah.
But I think that, so you don't even know what people hate on. So I'll let you kind of defend what you think people are going to come after you for.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the hate yet.
You haven't got the hate yet.
I wrote at the top of mine that I wanted people to just annihilate me on social media.
So here's what
I really encourage that.
The biggest thing I got hate for was putting James Conrad at number 19.
And
a few things here. Number one, this is a preseason top 20. That doesn't preseason polls wouldn't exist. Preseason top 20s wouldn't exist if it was just last year's rankings.
In defense of Hunter, for everybody that was like, it's one thing, you're allowed to debate these lists.
Yeah,
but most
that's the point
people,
of them.
everybody's debates that they brought to Hunter with his positioning of players was last year's statistics.
Even some people went back. They're like, you can't put a multiple-time major champion at number 19.
Which,
and I was like,
this list,
yes, I can.
this is what we were predicting will happen this season. If you want the top 20 from last season, just look at the earnings.
Yeah, because
earnings list from 2021.
I basically used last season's results to help guide this. So people would ask for my explanation.
You could put James Conrad at number 1, and you couldn't technically say that he's.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say he's a little bit crazy, but like that could be 100 things going to happen.
I think based on the response I was getting on Twitter, I don't think people would have thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Putting him at number 1. I don't.
People
Y'all are
love
crazy.
James Conrad.
Well, it's great for MVP that people aren't seeing the 34th place finishes that he put up. They're only seeing first place at Worlds. It's great for MVP.
Worlds is very blinding. When you win a major, it definitely
because
is blinders.
Basically people were asking me like, why on earth would you do that? And so I was like, well, this is like what influenced my decision. I used his last year performance. Well, then people were like, oh, this is all based on last year's. And they're like, then why on earth would you put Sexton and all these other people ahead of him? I'm like, well, because with Sexton, like last year he didn't play a ton.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if Sexton's doing a full tour, I think he's the 12th best player in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm using last year's to influence my opinion, but it's my opinion. I think that Andrew Presnell, Gannon Burr, Mason Ford, Nate Sexton, Andrew Marweed, Vino McKell, I think they're all better than James Conrad this upcoming year.
All right.
I hope I'm wrong. I love James Conrad. I
You
love
give a lot of
MVP.
credit to Vino.
But I did. But I think I especially someone was like, you really think Gannon Burr? Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if Gannon Burr ended in the top 10 this year.
Yeah.
Gannon Burr is disgusting,
is
and
really
he's
good.
17 years old, and everyone should be scared of him.
And he plays a lot.
On the FPO side, I didn't really get any hate for my top 10, per se, which, I mean, is fair. I think I locked in the top 10 players. I'm pretty happy with it. On the FPO side, I did get some hate for putting Katrina Allen 5th, mainly because I put a line in here that in my head made sense, but when you're just reading it might not. I said I think her putting struggles are holding her back from being elite. In my head, an elite FPO player is like one of the top like 2 or 3 players in the world. And with her being 5th, I was saying like it's holding her back from getting to that level. Yeah. Where like Katrina Allen's obviously an elite player. She's
I almost think it's almost
champion.
like you can't consider somebody like. I think you were held back because it's weird to have like one of the best players have a very obvious weakness in their game.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Like when you think about Paige, I don't think she has an obvious weakness.
No, she just has like some tournaments that she plays bad, but like it's not like, man, if she could just figure out, she'd be good.
Exactly. Like
that's
for
what's
Kat,
weird.
it's like the putting is the obvious weakness of her game because she throws better than probably anybody.
But regardless, I put her 5th in the world, and people are coming after me. Yeah. And here's the thing: the people I put in front of her, Paige Pierce, Kristen Tatar, Evelina Solin, and Hannah Blomroos, if you put head-to-head Katrina Allen against any of them, I'm picking them more than I'm picking Katrina Allen out of 10. It might be 6-4, but when I'm looking at the list, I was like, you know what? Should I put Katrina Allen higher? And I was like, well, no, I think Hannah's better than her. I think Evelina's better than her. I think Kristen's better than her. And I think Paige is better than her. Yeah. I really thought I was going to get some hate for putting Valerie Mandujano above Kona. I legitimately think I think Valerie Mandujano is the best, talent-wise, the best player on DD. I think Kona's worth more because of her social media, but I think Valerie's the better player. And then I thought people were going to get mad because I put Haley at number 7 in the world. No one even mentioned that. So apparently I'm not the only one that thinks that way. But yeah, I mean, could I be over exaggerating how good Kristen, Evelyn, and Hannah are? Yes. Am I? No. At least I don't think so.
There you go.
But Trevor, I haven't seen your list, but tell me like your ones that you think people are going to be upset at you.
I'm going to sort of tease my list a little bit.
Well, they've already seen it.
Well, they might not have.
They might not have
because
read it. That's fair.
This is being released very close to when the
That's
podcast
fair.
comes
That's
out.
very
so
fair.
I'm going to tease enough that if you haven't read it yet, you're going to need to go look at it. So scumbag me, I guess. But the things that I would think would be slightly controversial in my list, I have Conrad ranked better than you did.
Where'd you put him?
I have him at 13.
Okay.
I feel like I can bet on Conrad. My main reason for bumping him a little higher is I feel like
You saw the hate I was getting on Twitter?
no.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Like that matters. Mostly, believe me, if I was worried about the hate, I wouldn't have done what I did with my top 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, tease. But mostly because it's his second year with MVP, so he's going to have some added comfortability. He'll start a little quicker this year.
Okay.
That's why I have him there. I think I have Drew pretty high. I have Drew ahead of Kyle Klein, for example, Kevin Jones, for example.
Disagree with that.
I have some really strong opinions.
Although I do think I have him higher than
on Drew Gibson, and I think it mostly has to be. I think that Drew Gibson has discovered his game fully. I think now to where he's always like he's now when you watch him play, he is committing to the way he attacks courses. He knows that's his game, throwing the huge hyzer flip mids and, going for the big lines. And he's fully committed to it now. And you can tell like he has a different kind of confidence in that strategy. And I think Drew Gibson, his putt got better last year significantly. Can't speak for the Shelly Sharp Memorial, but I think that Drew is going to like really be solid this year. So I think he's pretty high up there. But my top 3 is definitely going to be the most controversial, mostly because I have Paul Macbeth at number 3. And so that'll get that's going to earn me some slander, I'm sure. But my reasoning for that.
Who's your number 1?
I'm not going to say. But my reasoning for that. My reasoning for that is not because of Paul declining, but just because of the higher ceilings of certain other players.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think, I don't think it's that ridiculous either, but I think people are going to act like it
ridiculous.
is.
I went Ricky 1, Paul 2. And the reason for I put Ricky 1, I wrote this, is he has the dagger back in his bag. That's it.
I mean, was he not like one of the best putters on tour last year?
One of, yes. But I think he'll gain.
I don't know.
I think the dagger gains him like 2 to 3 strokes a tournament.
Okay.
And I also think he has the confidence of like, I've won a world championship.
Yeah, no, that's-
with this
I think he's going to be
plastic.
so excited about being back.
that is
That's
what
I'm saying.
I did write
There's
that
something
with
about
Ricky.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like when I put Innova back in my bag, I just feel good.
My FPO list, I did a similar thing with my top 5. My top 2 is not the same though. I switched around Paige and Kristen. So that one is going to get me a lot of.
So you put Kristen as number 1 in the world.
Yeah, I've got Kristen number 1 in the world. I think Kristen.
Where's Kat on
I
your
think
list?
Kristen's the boogeyman when it comes to Paige. Like I think when Kristen,
but I think
when Kristen
Evelina-
rolls up, things change.
I realistically think that Evelina is better than Kristen.
No,
we'll have to see when they're over here. But
it's all with the players coming over, and I did this. Vino, I don't have quite as high as you because I just want him to prove himself a little
that's
first.
fair. That's fair.
I do have Henna and Evelina ahead of Kat, and kind of for the same reasoning. I just think that if you look at what Kristen was able to do, first of all, Henna and Evelina are not new to the Pro Tour.
No.
I mean, the last time we saw Evelina, she won on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say she
won Waco.
She's won Memorial. She's won Waco. I feel like she's won a major.
If you
but
look
could
at
be
them
wrong.
against Kristen, which Kristen has been incredible, she came on very strong last year. They can beat her.
Yeah, they do beat her, right?
They do. So like,
it's typically one
they're
of those
gonna be
3
trouble.
win on the European tour.
they're like the 3 horsemen of the European apocalypse that are coming that are coming over. Like it is going to be. It's going to be the real deal. So those are probably going to be like that's going to be the.
Where did you put
controversy.
Kat?
I have her at 5 as well.
5 as well. Okay.
Yeah. I have
You're just that one's gonna get hated more than you would think.
the rest of the like. I also have Valerie. I have Valerie at 8.
Where's Kona?
I have Kona at 11.
You don't even have her in your top 10.
No, I have Macy just ahead of her.
Macy Veladiaz?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
frick.
think I see good things out of her this year. She plays a more events this year, and I have Sarah at 9, and then Valerie. I think Valerie is like big time player to watch this year.
I think so too.
Big time.
I
player
think so
to watch.
too. I'm pretty excited to watch her on tour this year.
But yeah,
so
I think
she
that
could
list
surprise
is more
people.
controversial, although I'm sure people will dig at me for some of my MPO
Yeah,
picks.
so
but
we'll see once Trevor's is fully out what people think.